the computer. Okay. All right. So this week marks your first week of Coach Basics. So I just wanted to I call it Coach Basics or new coach training, whatever you want to do. So you'll have posts every single morning with assignments. And my plan is to keep it Monday through Friday so that if you get busy during the week, you can catch up on the weekends. So, and then I do plan to do calls on this time every week. So hopefully you can get on. I will record them, but it's a really good time to get on in case you have questions so that I can help you guys with them. So I just wanted tonight kind of set your expectations, talk to you a little bit, just do it later, talk to you a little bit about our team and our team culture and what you can expect from me as the leader of the team and kind of what our goals are for your first, I'm just going to mute you guys just so there's no background. What our goals are and what your goals are for your first month as a coach. So like I said, within the group, we're going to do the 5 days a week of training. And basically what you're going to learn is the 4 vital behaviors of a coach. And we're going to dive deeper into those things. You guys are already products of the product, right? So that's one of our vital behaviors. So doing the workouts, drinking Shakeology, you guys got that one down. That's a simple vital behavior. And you become a coach because you love the products, right? You're getting results from them and you love the products. So our next vital behavior is personal development. And so I want to touch on that a little bit tonight because I feel like as a new coach, that is oftentimes the vital behavior that really gets overlooked. And it's so important, okay? Regardless of what this job has done for me, I guess financially, if you will, personal development is what changed my life about this job. Because for 5 years, I have done personal development minimally 10 minutes a day or 10 pages in a book for 5 years. Like, actually not quite 5 years, let's say 4.5. But if you think about that compounded over time, that's a lot of information. That's literally, I've read about a book a month. So you're looking at 48 books that I wouldn't have read if I didn't follow this. And so I want you guys to think of yourselves as like, number one, always a student. Like you're always going to be learning and you can do really well as a coach if you remain as a student and you remain very coachable and very teachable. And I can tell you with 100% assurance, because I've been doing this long enough, that if you do these things that we teach you in here, personal development being one of those aspects of your coaching career, you will have success. And we'll talk to other coaches that are in here and they can tell you and reassure that to you. But your biggest way to fail, and it's not really a fail. The only way you can ever fail in this business is to give up. And that's truly, truly the case. One of my favorite books is called Failing Forward, and it's by John Maxwell. I read it early on in my career, and it was so pivotal in my mindset because when I started as a coach on my journey, I actually quit before I even started. I loved the challenge group, and I almost quit. I didn't do the papers. I signed up to be a coach because I was like, I love this. I'm going to do challenge groups. And then reality hit and I got really, really scared. And I was like, oh no, I'm not perfect. Who's going to want to follow me? I can't stick with the nutrition plan 100% and I can't do the workouts 100%. And I started to have all these fears. And what I learned in that book was that and in that moment, I messaged my upline and I said, listen, this isn't going to work for me. I can't do this. And she, of course, was very supportive. And it actually was worse feeling to say I didn't want to be part of the community anymore than it was to actually have failures, to learn along the way. And I was like, I felt like I broke up with a boyfriend or something. It was so weird. I was so sad. I felt so separate. I'm like, no, this is what I have to do this. So I'm going to get uncomfortable and I'm going to have failures along the way, but I'm going to learn from them. So the thing that John Maxwell talks about in that book, and I think about this all the time, is if you think about yourself as a child that's about to take your first steps, what did you do when you took your first step? You fell down, right? You fell down because it was the first time that you ever took a first step. Well, what did you do? You got back up and then you took another step and you probably fell down again and you kept getting back up and trying. And then you took another step and then you fell down. And maybe this time you took 3 steps and you fell down. So you have to remember that you are new at this. This is a new journey for you. You're new. Maybe you're new at this program. Maybe you're new at Shakeology. Maybe you're new at fitness in general, or just being intentional about your nutrition, or being intentional about your personal development, right? This might all be so new to you. So you are not going to be perfect. And you have to tell yourself that, like, I'm not going to be perfect at this, because this is my first time doing a lot of these activities that I'm being advised to do. And so if you can kind of give yourself that grace and say, I'm not going to be perfect, I'm going to fail, but I'm going to fail forward. So failing forward basically just means, like, as you fail, you learn every single time. So when you start talking about the business opportunity to people, you're going to stumble over your words. You're going to be nervous. You're going to maybe not say the most perfect thing, and that's okay. But you're not going to get good about inviting people to the opportunity until you do it over and over again. The first time you host a call like this for your team, like, you're going to be so nervous and stumble over your words and maybe take like 30 minutes to an hour to prepare and nobody shows up, or you have to record it and they don't come. Like, it's okay, because as you do it again and again, you're just going to get better. You're going to get more comfortable. I know sometimes getting on these video conference calls, right? Like, we're really like, oh, I don't really want to be on video. And then you just do it. It's like the live videos I have you guys do in your sweaty selfies that I have you do in the challenge group. Think about that. Think about the first time that you did that. I bet you were super nervous. Like, I don't want to post my picture. Like, oh, what are people going to say about me? You know? And then you're like, oh, I didn't die. I'll say that to you a lot. You won't die. I promise. You won't die from posting a selfie. You won't die from going live on Facebook. You won't die from running a call or being on this video. And most times I'm going to look like a hot mess. So I just finished working out and teaching Insanity. I haven't showered. I'm pretty gross. So don't feel like you have to come here and get all dolled up. I mean, this is like the reality of coaching, is literally sometimes our kids are sitting on our laps. Sometimes we haven't showered in 2 days. Sometimes we're flying by the seat of our pants, you know. But that's the beauty of this business, is anything goes. So I just want you to remember that you need to be teachable, that you're going to have failures, but that's when all of your lessons are going to come, and you're just going to keep moving forward. The next thing that I want to talk to you guys about is inviting. And so that is another one of our vital behaviors. And that's really an important and vital behavior to this business, because you always want to be inviting people to the opportunity, whether it's the business opportunity or to the challenge groups. So here's the awesome thing. Our team is Designed to Shine. That is the name of our team. If you were on a little bit earlier, it was Dynamite Fitness. I just made a big switch because I felt like my heart connected more with the name of this team and the mission that I feel is behind what I'm trying to accomplish as the leader of this team. And the mission is to shine bright, to serve humbly, and to love others, because I truly believe that we're all born with unique qualities. We're all born with a gift to shine and to be the light to others. And I feel like health and fitness is the avenue to success in all areas of life, in whatever that you want to do. And when you find a program and you find products that work, and you guys are here and you're doing it and you're loving it and you're getting results, you can be the light to someone else. You can pay this opportunity forward. And maybe you want to make an income and bring in income for your family, and that's great. Or maybe you want to have a life of freedom, or maybe you just want to make enough money to donate to a charity. I have a coach that does that. It's a platform for you. Like, Beachbody is a platform. And if you can look at it like that and say, I can literally be the light for someone else, share this opportunity and let them have and find their light. And I think that's the biggest thing, is that so many of us, our lights have dulled, right? And that's why I love this Shift Shop program, because I feel like Chris brings that out. He brings that out in the challengers. And I love it because I'm seeing it. Like, I'm seeing you guys shine. And it's awesome. Like, this is the best challenge group I've ever run. And you guys poured your hearts out and you're vulnerable. And that's really hard to get people to do. And fitness and nutrition can be a very personal thing. And so the more that you're vulnerable with your audience, so just as you're vulnerable in this group, the more you're vulnerable with your market and with your audience, the more people are going to be attracted to you. People are not attracted to perfection because they look at that and they just think, well, I can't relate to that. So you are going to attract people that see themselves in your story. And the really cool thing about that is when you connect with someone that totally gets you, you like have this instant, it's like this instant bond. And then those people are who become on your team. And then it becomes this, I don't know, it's like this positive domino effect of energy because you're in this Beachbody community that's super positive, super uplifting. Your upline you can relate to, you get each other, you have a good time, you actually enjoy, like, this is work, we're on this call, we're talking about work, you enjoy connecting, you enjoy going to the events. My husband always is like, well, your girls' weekend away. I'm like, no, it's actually work. And he's like, yeah, work, whatever. I'm like, well, I just love it. So you don't think it's work, but it is work. But when you come to love it that much, that's what it feels like, you know? So let your light shine and be the light to others and bring them to this opportunity. So when you think about starting to invite people to challenge group, and our goal for you this month is to have one person join you in our next challenge group. And you guys can write these dates down. August 14th, I'm going to start my next preseason group. So what that means is they would have to have their Shakeology and like products, if they're going to do Beachbody on demand or whatever, ordered by then. Don't worry about the logistics of getting all of that through. Just worry about inviting people to that opportunity. Now that is only a few days away, and that's okay if you don't get anybody for that group, but I want to give you guys dates because you need to have something to invite to, because people will just drag their feet. The next group is September 4th. So you want to be strategic and you want to get people to buy by the end of the month because you want to hit Success Club, and we'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. So those orders would need to be in by August 31st. So you want orders in by either August 14th or August 31st. So write those dates down, and those are your dates that you're going to invite to your challenge group. So I'm going to run the challenge group and you get to be part of it. So you're kind of like an apprentice coach. And on my team, we are a team, we are a family, and we help each other no matter what. Okay. So please, please, please don't ever feel like you are on an island and maybe I'm not your upline sponsor. It's okay. I'm in your upline and I am here to help you. So don't feel like you're not getting supported because you are. Don't feel like you don't have a place to plug someone into a challenge group, because on our team, we like to run them together because, let's split the work up. Let's get as many people as we can involved and help each other out. So say there's a group that, you have a challenger ready. They don't want to wait for my group or something like that. Like, all you have to do is post in the team page and say, hey, does anybody have a group starting on the 21st? I have challengers. Can I help you run it? The challenge group, all that stuff, the curriculum will give you everything. You just have to put your voice on it and be you in the group and support your people. So all that stuff will teach you. So really, as a new coach, what you're doing right now is just saying, like, you can even say this as a new coach. Like, I don't really know what I'm doing. All I know is I'm in this challenge group and it's totally amazeballs and I love my results, and you should do this with me because it's awesome. Do you want to hear more about it? That's it. So in your participant guide, I think that I posted yesterday, it has one of the items in there is your contact list. So one of the first things that you want to be doing is make a list of your contact list and just write a bunch of names on there. And you're going to start adding to that list every single day, but you want to look at who your warm market is. And these are like your friends, your family, your coworkers, like people that you on a day-to-day basis have a connection to, you feel comfortable talking to them. Like they're people that you know. That's your warm market. A lot of Facebook. And, you know, we all have a lot of Facebook friends that we're maybe friends with. We don't really know them. I wouldn't necessarily call that your warm market. So I would reach out to all of those people. Those are the people you're going to start with. Those are going to be your invites now. And you probably have people on your mind that could benefit from what we're doing. Like Shift Shop is amazing. So, you know, you can invite them to that specific program, 21 Day Fix, or just Beachbody On Demand. But I want you guys to know that you don't have to worry about the details of how to run a challenge group. You don't have to know all the details of signing someone up. All you have to do is get your invites out there. So I ask you this, is to make a commitment to yourself to be here a year from now. And make a commitment to yourself that I am going to accept that I am a student for a year. And I am going to have some failures along the way, but I'm going to learn a ton along the way. And I'm going to help people along the way. And in the process, I'm going to grow as a person. I'm going to stay accountable to my own health and fitness goals because I'm in these challenge groups and I'm helping my coach, and I'm helping my customer as their coach. And I'm here and I'm sticking to it, and I'm staying accountable. Because the best thing I ever did was, you know, with my health and fitness journey was just be a coach, because I was accountable. Like if I'm telling people to work out, I'm going to work out. If I'm telling people to drink Shakeology, I'm going to drink Shakeology. So that's actually how my journey really started, because I needed that accountability piece. And we all do. And that's what makes us different. That's what makes Beachbody so different than a gym or, you know, like Pure Barre or a cycle studio or whatever. Like we're not competing with them. I mean, we are in a sense, I guess, but, you know, fitness begets fitness. I just love fitness. So if people work out, like good for you, but do you want to be in a support system? Like if you think about the value that we're offering, that you're offering someone as a coach, they are getting access to you 24/7. Granted, you're not working the business 24/7, but you're going to get back with them within 24 hours, right? So if you think about that, you're bringing these people that they're getting an at-home program. They're getting nutrition simplified, completely laid out for them, an expert created fitness program that personally, I mean, I teach classes at a gym. I see personal trainers there and I'm like, you can't even hold a candle to these programs in terms of results, right? Because they're so science-backed. And so you get these results, you have nutrition, you have this amazing shake that literally can save your health. It helps you to lose weight. It helps you to lower your cholesterol. It helps you to lower your blood pressure. It's low on the glycemic index. Do you know how many people have type 2 diabetes right now that literally could get off medicine, or we could save their life if they just started drinking Shakeology and doing nothing else but drinking Shakeology? You have the tools and we have the support group, your coach. As a coach, you don't have to be an expert. You're not a nutrition expert. You're not a personal trainer. You are their best friend. That's literally who you are. You are their confidant. You are their biggest cheerleader. You are their person that gets them back on track when they fall off. You are there to help them and encourage them when they struggle or when life happens or when they just need a hug, even if it's a virtual hug, to say, it's okay. No one's perfect. As long as you recognize where you were and what you're going for, let's get back on together. Let me help you. Because life's going to happen. Life's going to happen to everybody. So you're going to have this support group, and that is so different than what anybody else can offer out there. You get a personal trainer. I mean, we're not even talking money. We're just talking like value in general with what you get, right? You get this amazing support system that just isn't available. Recipes, nutrition plans, someone to literally walk you through every step of the process. And then 100% money back guarantee, right? I mean, you couldn't go to Smoothie King for 30 days and order a shake for 30 days and then come back and be like, you know what? I didn't really like that shake. Can I have like my money back for the 30 days? Like you can send all your money back. So have that peace of mind when you're talking to people and understand truly the value of what they're getting. I mean, for $160, that's crazy to me. I have probably $1,000 in equipment on my shelf, or workout programs on my shelf, because they were like $100 each when you bought the program. Now people have access to that for $30 a month when you get it with Shakeology for a year, not $30 a month, a year. It's like $2, $2.50 a month. That's crazy. All those programs. So why am I saying this all to you guys? Because I really want you to understand the value of what you have to offer. Because one of the things that's really hard when we start as a coach, and everybody feels it, is having belief. And belief that you can do this, belief that you can be successful, belief that you have what it takes. And you all do. You all do. Okay? Hear me on that. You all do. You have the opportunity to change someone's life. And you don't have to look at it like, I need to change 500 people's lives. Just one. Just one. Because I promise you that one person that comes back to you and says, you changed my life, will make you never want to quit this business ever. So you're a student for a year. You're going to be coachable. You are going to fail, and you're going to be okay with it, because you're going to fail forward. All of the resources that you need to be successful are going to be shown to you and given to you. I encourage you, if there is somewhere that you don't have to wait to be told what to do. I encourage you to be motivated to learn extra things if there's an area that you're interested in, to get access to, all the resources. Check out the file section in the team page. Lots of information there. Coach Online Office literally has just transformed in the past 4.5 years since I have been here. Every single thing is there to be successful. What you have to do is put it into action. Okay. And the action is simple. It's very, very simple. So don't overcomplicate it. It's inviting. So we're going to invite to the opportunity, right? Who's on our contact list? We're going to be a product of the product. Already do that. Done. Personal development. I include this as personal development. Your training is personal development. Highly encourage you guys to get that book, Miracle Morning. I started implementing his practice, and the one for network marketing, both of them are good, but the network marketing one is more geared towards what we do. And so the principles are the same, but he talks a lot about how you start your morning dictates your entire day. And I mean, when I lay in bed and let my son wake me up, honestly, I feel like I'm just playing catch up all day. But when I get up at least like half an hour before him and I don't do anything else but the Miracle Morning routine, it sets my mind into the right place. And then I just have a better day and I have a more productive day. So the other thing that I would encourage you guys to do is to set business hours for yourself. And I tell you this because I made this mistake when I started. I wasn't married and I wasn't in a relationship, and I worked a full-time job, and my schedule other than that job was pretty open. And so I would just like work it when I felt like it. And so that kind of set me up for inconsistencies within my business when I started to build a team. And then I felt like I was tied to my phone. And then I felt like I was working all the time. And then I did meet someone and I did have a baby. And then it was really hard to be like, wait, this isn't working, because now I feel like I'm working all the time. So Beachbody is not supposed to be your life. It's supposed to give you a life. So I encourage you guys to set expectations for your customers and for your coaches that say, listen, this is when I work my business. I will get back to you within 24 hours. And set those hours and be very intentional. And then I encourage you to talk to your friends and family and the people that you spend time with and say, listen, this is when I'm going to work my business, and I will respect our time together if you can respect my time of working the business. Because if you get into the habit of just answering people in 2 seconds, that expectation kind of goes away. And I feel honestly, people will respect your time if you set that expectation. So I like to tell my team and my coaches that you'll hear back from me within 24 hours, and I'll go over my work schedule, I work daily. So I'm always working, not always working, but I check in at some point every single day. And weekends, I work a little less than during the week, but you'll hear back from me and you'll get an answer from me. So that way everybody's kind of on the same page, and I don't have to respond to a text message right away when I'm with my son. Okay. Because that can be very draining for you. And again, this isn't supposed to be your whole life. It really, truly is supposed to give you a life. But you can get creative, and you can be kind of working when you're doing other things, like when you're socializing and you're out with friends and you just talk about it. You just talk about what you're doing and invite people to the opportunity. You're kind of working. I mean, you're doing your invites. So you can think about it that way. So we talked about inviting, we talked about personal development, and we talked about being a product of the product. And then our fourth vital behavior is recognition. So when you get your first customer, you want to be very cognizant about recognition. And I encourage you guys to just get in the habit of recognizing people on a daily basis. It's a really good practice, because when you give love, you receive it like 10 more times than when you're getting it. So when you give it out, you feel so much fuller. So recognize your family, recognize your friends for different things. But when you start to build a team and when you start to get customers, you want to consistently recognize your challengers for pushing play, for drinking their shake, for having non-scale victories, for showing up, for getting back on when they fall off the wagon. You'll recognize your team for rank advancements, for just putting in the effort of getting on calls like this and investing in themselves, doing personal development, those kinds of things. So it is one of our vitals, because people just thrive off of that. And I think that in a world that we live in right now, I think we're just isolated. We're getting so much more isolated, and so many things are getting depersonalized, right? Because we're always on social media or behind our computers or watching everybody's highlight reels. And then we start negative talking to ourselves. Well, I want that life, or I want this or that. And then even in just corporate America, if you work in corporate America, I work in healthcare, what do you do when you do a good job? Like, what happens? Most times they just say, okay, we'll do more. So that's not what we want to be. We want to be a community that lifts each other up and says, like, you're awesome. You did amazing, and I'm proud of you. And so if you can start to get into that habit on a consistent basis. The last thing about the vital behaviors is you want to do them every day. Every single day. Doesn't have to be long time, but you want to stay consistent. And so we'll teach you about our power hours that we do, where it's a focused hour or less. Some people can even do it less, where you're literally just laser sharp focusing, checking into your challenge groups, sending out invitations, running free groups. We'll talk more about that. Connecting with old friends, and doing your social media posts. So we'll go over social media more within this group, but I really just kind of wanted to touch on the vitals, because we're going to break them down and go into more depth with them. But you guys already have the tool to be successful, and that's you. And people are going to sign up because of you. They're not going to sign up with you because of me. They're going to sign up because of you, because they see your journey and they see your heart. A couple of the other things that are going to be important are just tracking your business, and we will give you resources on how to do that, because you want to be able to know who you talk to, where you are in the conversation, and be able to follow up. So setting your business hours, tracking your business. The faster that you treat this like a business, the faster it will pay you like a business. So what I tell my team is, what you want to do with this business is completely and totally up to you. You can build this and make millions. You can build this to pay for groceries. It's truly up to you. So you just have to kind of decide on what you want to do, and that can change along the way. But if this is something that you really, really want to build, then you need to treat it that way. And by treating it that way is simply doing those 4 vital behaviors, setting business hours so that you do them, and tracking your business. And I truly think honestly, guys, it's nothing more than that. It's nothing more than that. Each one of those steps, obviously there's a little bit more. Inviting can be scary for most people, but when you believe in what you do and you believe that you can help people and make a change, because you guys are all doing it. Like, I'm watching you, I'm witnessing you in our challenge groups make these changes, and you can, like, someone else needs to hear this and feel this. I think that's it. That's it. But I just wanted to kind of get on tonight and talk to you a little bit, get your mindset in the right place, and then just get you to know me a little bit so you feel comfortable. And then also just get on video, because the more we do this, the more comfortable we'll get, because this is how we like to run our calls. So we'll do the Coach Basics calls, and then our team calls, which I will talk about later. We have every Monday night at 9, and they're run by I guess she's my grandma coach in this organization, Melanie Mitro. She's the top coach now, 3 years. So she runs them, and then she oftentimes has a lot of guest coaches on there. So lots of really good training, and that's every Monday night at 9. If you can't make it, they're recorded. But that's personal development. So that can be your Monday personal development. So but we do run them through Zoom, and we do a lot of team calls. We'll do power hours, lots of stuff through Zoom. So it's kind of fun. And then we get to see each other in person when we go to conferences, and everybody thinks I'm really tall, and then I'm 5 foot, and it's just hilarious. The last couple coaches that I met, they're like, "Oh my gosh, I thought you were like 5'8". I was like, "Yeah, I have a long torso, but the legs, not so much." Do you guys have any questions or comments or anything for me? No? Laura, do you have anything? Go ahead, you're unmuted.
Yeah, not really any questions. I'm sure they'll all get answered as we go along. It's just my biggest concern is this taking over all of the little free time that I actually have with working a full-time job and 2 kids and a husband who works 24-hour shifts. You know,
Okay.
It's just finding the time every day to do it will be challenging, but
well, the best thing that you can do is just be intentional about your time. So when we talk about like doing power hours and that kind of thing, they don't have to be like an hour designated. You know, I have a friend of mine had a very busy schedule. She literally like planned her coaching hours in 15 to 20 minute pockets, and a lot of stuff she did from her car. Like, she carried a binder with her that was her tracking. And so if you can, like, that's what I was saying, like, set those business hours, like, right from the get-go, and tell yourself that, you know, this is when I'm going to work. So we didn't really get into this too much, but we will in the coach training, is really connecting your why. Like, why are you here and why are you doing this? Okay. Because your why is different than mine. It's different than Aaron's. It's different than everybody in this group. And that why needs to be so personal and so important and so deep, so that when you are tired because you've set those business hours and you don't want to go out, get up when that alarm goes off, and you have cranky kids and you don't feel like doing it, if you have that strong enough why, that will always get you back to it's just like your health and fitness that we talked about in the group, like connecting to that why, so that when you don't feel like it, you do it anyways, because the why is that important. So it may take some time to kind of balance it, and we'll never have balance, but if you can manage your calendar right away, it will help you, and you'll actually get and be more productive when you're disciplined, because you get that level of confidence that's telling you like, okay, yeah, I can do this, and you'll start to find success. But you'll realize if you are intentional about your hours, you will realize that you have more time to do it than you think. And when I say intentional, you're intentional and then you're focused. So that does not include scrolling Facebook. And I tell you that because I'm guilty of it. You know, I can sit down to work and 30 minutes have gone by and I'm like, I didn't do anything but scroll Facebook. And it happens a lot. I mean, I have to pull myself back a lot. Like, because I'm like, oh my gosh, she got married. No way. Let me see her dress. Oh, so cute. Oh, no way. She's friends with her. Oh. And then 30 minutes later, you're like, what did I even just do for 30 minutes? So I set a timer on my phone and I have activities that I have to do. And I'm telling you, there's times the timer goes off and I'm like, oh, okay, I just scrolled Facebook, that whole thing. Good thing the timer went off. So, but if you can just laser sharp focus, if you can turn your notifications off, turn them off. Those are horrible shiny objects. Oh, you liked my post. Oh, they posted. I do that too. Like, oh, they posted in there. And then I go into that group and see, because as you continue with this too, you're going to start finding yourself in a lot of groups. You're going to be in my team page, and then you'll be probably in Valerie's upline team page, and then you'll be in the challenge group, and then you'll be in the coach training. So there's going to be a lot of notifications. But if you can literally get intentional and say, okay, from 8 to 8:15 every single day, I'm inviting. From 8:15 to 8:30, I'm checking in with my challengers, and you're not doing anything else. Like, you're just doing those specific tasks. You'll find that you have pockets of time to do it. But and listening, you know what I did a lot is listen to personal development in the car. Like that was my, I would listen to recordings. I would listen to the National Wake Up Call. We'll talk about that. There's a podcast. I still do that now. I just don't even listen to the radio. I always put on personal development. So you don't have to read. Like that doesn't have to be. There's tons of trainings that are all online. So you can listen to the Dream Team calls. I like to do them when I'm doing anything mindless. So cleaning, cooking, whatever, driving is when I would do my personal development a lot. So when you start building a team, you can get on the phone while you're driving too. Do you have a long commute to work? What do you do?
Me?
Yeah, Laura.
Oh, well, I work from home all but one day a week.
Oh, okay.
The days
so
I do go in, the days I do go in at 2 hours one way. So.
Oh, that's right. You were the one that posted about the.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well,
that's a long commute.
Yeah, all your personal development done for.
But yeah,
that's what I would.
Yeah, when I'm sitting on the train, it's a perfect time.
So, okay, I would if I were you. You do that once a week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a big lot of time. So I would do a lot of extra stuff in there. Like you want to stay consistent with inviting and doing personal development every single day, but you have that much time. So let's say you're going to, once you start running challenge groups or checking in with your challengers, messaging all your challengers, doing all your invites, do a ton of invites. Then you can start creating posts ahead of time. You know, we're going to talk about posting on social media and sharing your journey. You can do all those things. So be really intentional about that time. You can spend, an hour doing personal development. You can get ahead on trainings. You know, you can go through and do 5 assignments in that commute in our Coach Basics group. You know, you can explore the online office, those kinds of things. But definitely unless do you use them to do your other job, or do you?
Not typically, no. It's just an hour drive to the train and then however long it takes the train to get in.
Okay. Where do you live? Do you live in DC or something?
I live about an hour and a half from DC, but I work in DC. So.
Oh, okay. Virginia? You live in Virginia?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Northern Virginia. I used to live in that area. Well, Maryland side of the DC metro.
Okay. I'm like 10 miles from West Virginia. I'm like way out there.
Oh, what city are you?
Winchester.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, you have to move out there to be able to afford a house.
Exactly.
I used to sell houses when I lived there. It was crazy. These people were still like spending $500,000, and that was 10 years ago on houses so that they could commute 2 hours one way. I felt so sad for these kids that do that every single day. That's good. You don't have to do it every day. They never saw their dad. Like a lot of times it was dads. Never saw them, but they had to have this big, beautiful house. I'm like, for what?
Yeah, we moved out here just because the cost of living is ridiculous.
It's so crazy there.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, I won't keep you any longer. Erin, we will chat tomorrow. We can kind of go over some other specifics for you. But I'm just excited. It's a lot of information I gave you guys tonight, but we're going to be going through it in more detail, like through the group. So we'll do this call again next Wednesday at 8. Yeah. And please, 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 if you have any questions or any concerns or anything, post in the training, because chances are someone else has the same question. So that would be super helpful. So, all right, guys, thanks for getting on. It was nice seeing your pretty faces. Get some rest for strength 45. And
Bye.
All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. Good night.